Thinking back, I always thought that my life would become this blissful fantasy once I escaped my family, while other people in my life were content living with their family, or actually preferred it because they were afraid to go into the world on their own, they would miss them, whatever the reason. I had fantasies of life I would live once I escaped my prison. Unfortunately for me though, upon finally escaping said circumstance and taking my steps into the real world, I struggled to grasp the meaning of life after my departure. Looking back, my family was my life. The world I learned to survive coexisted with them in it. I learned to read situations, learned how to be invisible, learned that danger lurks around every corner, and no matter what I did, or will do, I will always be in danger. So I adapted. I did what humans do, and built my entire existence around surviving a threat. And upon escaping that threat, it doesn't mean my brain just snapped into another reality and understood that I can't be hurt by them anymore. I searched for a danger to fear. Whether it be a car driving past my house or a small bump in the night, some of my worst nights were ahead of me and I had no idea. Before I moved from my father's house, I was oddly comfortable with this constant fear and severe emotional abuse I suffered at the hand of the household. I've always been kind of the black sheep of the family. If something goes wrong, it's my fault. And if there's nothing going wrong, I did something wrong anyway. I was never good enough, and anytime I had a complaint or a concern in the home, it was always just dismissed as me being me, Drew being Drew. I never knew what I was talking about because apparently I was immature and grew up an easy life that I take for granted. I was constantly reminded that my thoughts and feelings didn't matter. In my mother's home in my youth, I was constantly diffusing fights between my mother and my sister, or my mother and my stepdad, or between my mother and me. And again, anytime I had an issue with the way I was being treated, I was spoiled and don't know what it's like to suffer or be abused. Even though the person saying it to me was the evil I was being told I wasn't experiencing. My family discarded me as someone who would never amount to anything. If I showed rebellion to my mother and her constant harassment, I was like my dad. If I made a small mistake around my father or said something he didn't align with, I was immature and would be laughed at and made fun of, to the amusement of everyone else in the household, of course. I was a laughingstock because I was different. And I really believed for the longest time that I could never get out of the hell that was my family. I believed I would be trapped dealing with their abuse forever, and that I was born wrong. I didn't deserve to be understood, and definitely didn't deserve to be happy. I should just be happy that I get to be alive. My mother would always tell me that there's children starving in Africa, or some people are homeless. I have such an easy life comparatively. She would go into detail of how she's not going to deal with my attitude any longer than she has to, and promptly kick me out of my home when I turned 18, as a spur-of-the-moment decision because I told her not to talk shit about my girlfriend. I find it very ironic that the same parents claiming my life was so peaceful and so much easier than theirs years prior were using heroin and forgetting I exist, starving me, beating me, and reminding me every day how much harder their lives became because of me. So, no, I wasn't happy to be alive, far from it, and I dreamed every day of the day that I would be able to finally escape. I won't elaborate too much more because this video isn't about my past, but I do think it's important to give some context as to what I'm talking about. I understand the pain. And moreover, I understand the realization that all the skills you've developed to survive your situation are useless in normal life, and unlearning these survival skills are nearly impossible. It's like fighting a war your entire life, then being placed in a peaceful world with no conflict. You are different. You are changed. You literally aren't like other people. You're a survivor of a war no one else fought, and it haunts you. I would say my first 2 years of living with my roommate has been some of the hardest years of my life, not because of him or anything he does, but because of the invisible battle that I still fight every day. Constantly reminding myself, it's over, that I don't need to freak out at the slight vibration that rattles my computer desk as a truck drives by my home. I don't have to worry about the evil that I became so accustomed to anymore. No more screaming, no more neglect, no more constant antagonizing, no more being looked down upon and being told what I can and can't do. So why does it feel like I'm still that little boy? Why does it feel like when I leave my room, I'll be stepping over random people passed out on the floor? Why does it still feel like when I get home, I'm in more danger than when I left? Why? 23 plus years of battles doesn't just vanish the moment you find safety. You don't just forget how to walk quietly so you aren't heard. You don't just forget all the times you were attacked for a mistake. You do not forget all the times you did your best, only to be told afterwards it doesn't matter, and that no matter what you do, you will never succeed. Scars don't heal, man. They fade. The world doesn't revolve around you, but it sure does feel like everything's out to get you sometimes. I've been asked sometimes if I have considered committing myself to a faith. And honestly, it's hard to believe in something after being scammed time and time again. But even so, I choose to believe in myself. I don't believe the things people used to tell me. That's why I was a target. After being hit, I would stand back up. It would result in me getting hit again, but sometimes being true to yourself is more important than the scrutiny you'll deal with because of it. Our lives are ours. Though we've been manipulated into thinking we're less human than everybody else, we are far more strong and far more capable than 90% of people because of the monsters we had to face as children. We don't just mindlessly live our lives. We think on every action, double check what we say and how we say it, and most importantly, we do our best. We try. We try hard. Do you have any idea how bad we feel when we let someone down? When we make a mistake? It's a direct reminder of the life we used to live. Why do you think we struggle so much? Every mistake, every denial, every time we're told we aren't doing something that we should be doing, while we're already doing so much, is a kick in the gut that you will never understand. It's a lonely world we live in, yet we live in every day because we want to live a normal life, even though it feels impossible. Sometimes, I wish I could be different. That circumstances could be different. Maybe if I was born into a different family or born at a different time, maybe my life would have been different. Sure, most likely, maybe it would be. But you know what? Even though sometimes I feel like everything I personally went through was for nothing, that couldn't be the farthest thing from the truth. We've seen some of the worst that life has to offer, yet we choose to be different. And I believe that because of the things I've been through, I have become someone that other people wish they could be. Unique. I'm content with me. I wouldn't choose to be anyone else because, you know what? My past made me strong. My past made me resilient. My past didn't give me a blueprint for the life I want to live, but it sure as hell gave me a blueprint for the world I don't want to live in. Because of my parents, I know what to avoid and how to spot it. Because of my bullies, I know how to lift people up and be likable. And I wouldn't trade that for anything. Because I can't stand the thought of having everything handed to me. Can you? I hope this video can lighten your day a little bit. Maybe bring up your mood. I know every day is a struggle. I know every day can sometimes feel like it's going to be your last. I really hope you'll continue to push forward. Because if you can live for anybody, man, live for you. Like, seriously, dude. Like, live for you. Keep pushing. Keep doing what you gotta do. Live that life that you want to live, man. Do your best to achieve that. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to come quick. It's not something you're going to feel like you deserve for a while. But fuck, man, you deserve it, dude. You really do. You deserve to be happy. And you deserve to have a happy ending, you know? We all do. We all deserve to have something good happen to us. We all deserve to live a life we're proud of. And dude, if you're waking up every day and you're doing the hard things every day. As simple as getting out of bed, as simple as taking a shower, as simple as eating. If it's hard, it's worth doing, okay? So, please keep doing your best, and I hope that I will see you in the next video. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Good night.